Hey, good morning. Hello, everybody. Steve Backlund here from Igniting Hope Ministries with another great Facebook Live. And I am fired up about today as we're doing a 2-week emphasis on the new book that we have, The Culture of Empowerment, Business and Organizational Version. Here it is. And the course that we're doing along with it, I got Henri Pera with us, who's on my team this year. We've had him on these Facebook Lives before, and I just thought it'd be great to have him join me today. Good morning, Henri.
Good morning, Steve. How are you doing today?
I am good. I am good. You know, I'm fired up about the potential of just us as leaders going to the next level in empowerment of ourselves and empowerment of others. And I'm fired up that we at Igniting Hope get to be a part of that.
I know, Steve, I agree. You know, I've been reading the book, and I am a leader myself. And so I've been in business for a while, and by reading the book and just learning all of this content of culture of empowerment, it's changing a lot the way I think about leadership and relationships. It's awesome.
Well, you're in Reading right now with me, serving on my team. You're what we call a special projects assistant to me, and you've been a business owner in the past. You had a chain of restaurants in Brazil, and I know you, just your own heart to be a healthy leader, and especially as we go the culture of empowerment, business and organizational version. You have history in leading and empowering, and so I'm glad you're on with me today.
You know, Steve, I'm always saying this. If I knew the stuff that's in the book and the course before, definitely I would have done many things differently, and it would have been better. That's for sure.
Well, one thing I know that I heard someone say once: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is to plant a tree today. And so, we all have regrets. We all wish we would have done things better, in our lives, our families, in our leadership, whatever. But we can take today and improve what we're doing. And I'll just, I know you've been helping us with this. We're doing a 2-week kind of blitz emphasis on this. You want to share a little about that? What are we doing in these 2 weeks, Henri?
So yeah, we are launching the book, The Culture of Empowerment, the Business and Organizational Edition, and also the course that goes along with that. Woohoo! Yes, that's it. And basically, we're here just to share with our community what's our heart behind this book, and just helping them also to understand if it's for our community, if it's the time for them to read it or not, or to take the course. So basically we're here, and also to present this culture of empowerment, because as you're always saying recently, it's never been a better time we've never needed more of healthy leaders. So this is a very timely content that we're releasing.
Absolutely. And we know we have regular people watching live and who tune in and who are a part of the Igniting Hope family. And we just ask you to really pray with us right now to that this emphasis, that this message will get in the right hands, that people who need it right now will be drawn to pray with us about it. Certainly many of you will also be led to get the book, do the 12-week online course, which is on our Igniting Hope Academy platform. It's made for people on the go. I wrote this book with my brother, Dr. Phil Backlund, and Henri, you know this, he is incredible. I mean, he has a PhD in speech communication and brings that brilliance into not only the book, but the course, and adds it to my longstanding history of empowering people in the church and being a coach in sports and all of that. And I know you kind of like listening to Phil.
Oh, he has great insights and knowledge about the topics we're talking there. So that's a great team you guys made right there. And Steve, I also want to remind our community that for these next 2 weeks, we're gonna have the book with a great discount, 40% discount. So it's gonna be 40% off. I'm not sure we have ever heard about some things like this in Igniting Hope, right?
We've never done that before. I mean, we're going into new territory here. We believe in this message so much. We want to get it in as many hands as possible. So that's on Amazon that they can get that 40% off.
Yep, and also the course, it's 50% off. It's crazy. It's Black Friday anyway. So
all right. Hey, Henry, we're gonna switch roles here today. You know, I usually, when I have guests on, I'm the interviewer. I'm trying to pull out of them the deep things of their testimony and revelation, but you're going to interview me today.
Yeah. Steve, first off, I just want to tell our community here that you are the culture of empowerment. I've been under your leadership for these last 3 months, and I know that as I read the book, I can actually see that you are the culture of empowerment. So I'm excited to hear what you have to tell us about it today. And so, just to as a kickstart here. So Steve, let's say, so for what is the audience here? Who are the people? Where do we have leadership roles in our lives? I mean, how do you see leadership? Is it just if I'm a businessman? Is it just if I'm a politician? Or where is leadership happening in our lives?
Well, Henry, first of all, I would say we are all leaders. We are all leaders because, I mean, first of all, we need to learn how to lead ourselves, how to empower ourselves. Because if we can't empower ourselves, it's going to be difficult to empower others. And then, you know, leadership is really influence. And that's what it is that we are, whether we have a specific title of leader in a organization, in a church, in wherever, we're all still leading somebody. We're influencing somebody. But when you take it even broader, and because I want to say the principles in this book and in this course are going to help all of us, no matter what state of life we're in. But specifically, if we're in a role of leadership right now where we have charge of a group of people, a fellow leadership team, again, whether it's in a business, organization, nonprofit, church, education, athletics, wherever, what we share in this book and the course is for them. And it's to help understand what is the purpose of leadership. Why does God put us in those positions, and what are the highest goals? And you know, we put in on the front of the book, we put the culture of empowerment, how to build big people, and that's the heart of leadership. And I shared yesterday on the Facebook Live that, you know, the goal of leadership is not to create slaves just to accomplish the goal of the leader. Now, certainly there needs to be loyalty and towards the leader, but it's much more about people development than it is about reaching goals and vision.
Wow, that's so good, Steve. That's so good, because yeah, and if we want to accomplish things, we got to remember we're going to do it through people, right? And if we're taking care of the people that are with us, they're most definitely going to be loyal and give it back to us too. So that's, yeah. And so what I'm hearing you say here, Steve, is that this content has a broad usage, in the sense of, so lots of people that are in various positions, they can benefit from it. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I mean, we don't, even if we're not the official leader in a organization, what this is going to help us with, and the goal of the book and the course. I mean, one of the big goals is to really increase a positive influence upon people, because the culture of empowerment is not a leadership style, it's a lifestyle. And so we think about, okay, who is gonna benefit by it? You know, and this may sound, you know, yeah, I mean, I don't know how this sounds. I just say everybody. Obviously, we're going for a target, you know, of people who are leading now, just to say we can help you. But we're all growing into that, and if we get these principles, these beliefs, this heart for people, wherever we're at, it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be a key for us to be chosen as a leader in the future, because these qualities and this perspective on leadership, unfortunately, isn't as common as it needs to be.
So this book and the course, they are not only for leaders that are actually leading right now. So what you're saying is like the tree analogy you gave us earlier, is that some people might be just planning it now so that they could benefit and have healthy leadership and healthy relationships in the future. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's because when Jesus said in Matthew 28, go into all the world and make disciples of nations, part of going is preparing. It's preparing, and it's getting the tools that will cause people to trust you as a person and as a leader, because trust is the currency of influence. And if people don't trust us as a leader, then we are going to need to resort to unhealthy mechanisms to motivate people, like guilt and shame and fear of punishment and that. And so, yes, this is going to help us increase our talents. This is going to help us to become what really is going to, the dreams that we have. We all have a dream to influence people at a greater level. And so, yes, it on one level, it's for everybody.
That's amazing. And Uniting Hope family, just send us questions here if you have. I'm not sure we're going to have time to answer them today, but next week we will be having a Q&A. So we are gathering all the questions you'll be sending throughout this week, and then we are answering those next week. So just send them here, and we're going to gather that. And Steve, you shared a little bit yesterday about your history with Coach of Empowerment and how much of a lack you experienced when you were younger. And would you tell us how it's been your experience in actually growing and from a place where you didn't experience that, and now what is the transformation that you've noticed in your life by being an empowering leader comparing to those that weren't very, very empowered in your youth?
That's a great question. And I mean, the transformation really comes from when we begin to understand our purpose in life. And I shared yesterday that I had very little encouragement as far as people just seeing the gold in me and speaking into my life about what they saw and the potential that they saw in me, and a willingness to come alongside me as I'm trying to step into that. I didn't have that very much. When I became a follower of Jesus at age 19, my first pastor, Fred, he began to model this for me, and he believed in me more than I believed in myself. And you know, I was an insecure, burnout, paranoid hippie who became a follower of Jesus and battling a lot of stuff. And Fred believed in me. Fred, and he gave me those opportunities. And so I saw something happen in me, and that something came alive in me that I didn't even know was in me. And so as I began to walk in that, and the transformation of, wow, maybe I am important. Wow, maybe I'm not just, there's not something uniquely wrong with me. Wow, maybe there's greatness on the inside of me. I began to dream. I began to take some risks, because a culture of empowerment it breaks off the spirit of perfection and allows people to grow into their giftings without that perfectionistic fear of punishment mindset. And it's done so much in me. And then just learning how to empower my wife as we've tried to empower each other, and we're very different. And how that whole journey with Wendy of just, okay, what motivates me doesn't motivate her, so I need to be a student of her. And then I became a coach in sports, and coaching sports, you've got different personalities, building team, how to motivate one person or another. And then in the church, and the transformation that has happened has been that I have many sons and daughters around the world, many here in Redding, who have been under my influence and who are in powerful positions right now. And their testimonies of what happened with these principles that I share in the book, they testify about that. In our original book, The Culture of Empowerment, which is we did many years ago, there's many testimonies in the back of that book about people who've been influenced. And so the transformation not only has happened in me, because you become more fulfilled. I mean, the greatest joy I have, and this is the heart of fathers and mothers, the greatest joy I have is to see those that I influence do well. I want them to do better than me. And that fulfillment, that's really so wonderful. And then also just watching their lives, watching what they're doing. It's a blessing.
I see that you're fired up about this, Steve. So what you were telling us is that when you had someone believing in you more than you believed in yourself, something inside of you came alive, and so you felt free to express who you really were in an outward manner. Is that right?
It was, and I was free to try things. Like my pastor Fred says, will you teach this Sunday school class? Will you speak in front of this group? Will you lead this team? And it was all new. And God, we all start at a level of like a baby or toddler learning to walk. We're trying to do it. And this is hard. Oh man, I feel like a failure. And he'd give me feedback and how to do things better and what not to do. And it was a process, but the belief piece, you can do it. You can do this. You've got something in you. You're important. Nobody can say it like you. That belief piece, in all, that's what helped me overcome my feeling like a failure and that the lies that I can't do this.
So when we empower people, we're actually helping them to unleash their identity. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I shared yesterday about the gold mine in Round Mountain, Nevada, where we pastored, and they didn't talk about dirt. They moved a lot of dirt, but they didn't talk about dirt. They talked about gold, and people won't mind you moving their dirt as long as they know you're looking for gold in them. And so the identity and learning how to be a student of people and studying people and asking good questions. And again, realizing the belief and the commitment of leadership, just believing that one of the greatest things that I do is to develop and create an empowering culture where people can rise up. It doesn't mean everybody's going to rise up, but it's believing that I have great people around me. And that's a challenge, Henry, because, once we experience people and we see people's faults, and, because nobody's perfect, and how I'm processing through the disappointments that we experience with people. But then coming back, all right, one of the greatest things I need to do is believe in these people. One of the greatest assignments that I have is to figure out how to help them grow in life and identify their unique giftings and callings, and keeping that as the focus is the key to the culture of empowerment.
So you were talking a little earlier that we can empower our spouses. We can empower, we can be an empowering leader if we're coaching a team. We can be an empowering leader. I'm getting actually all of your roles in life. So you as a husband can be an empowering person. You as a coach, when you coach the team, you as a minister, as a pastor, you could use that. And even as the businessman that you are. So the culture of empowerment has all of these applications, right?
Absolutely. And parenting. I know you've got a wonderful daughter, and it's obvious that the principles apply there as well, because you want to empower her into what God has for her, in your belief in her, your words to her, your heart connection with her, how you give feedback and how you discipline is all impacted by the culture of empowerment, because we believe that we're developing somebody great.
And something, most definitely we can use that in parenting too. That's a for sure. And I was hearing you saying something that's pretty interesting too, that as you empower people, something happens in your heart that's very fulfilling. Can you share a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I don't want to be a leader that leaves a bunch of relational, just bad relational stuff behind me, and where I live in regret, where I live with being offended, where I live with people being unnecessarily offended at me, wreckage in relationships. That is very unfulfilling. If we accomplish a great goal, but we don't treat people well, I'll tell you this, there's no way we can be deeply fulfilled in our lives. And when we come to the end of our lives, we're not going to say, wow, I wish I would have spent more time in the office. I wish I would have, sold more books. I wish I would have, we're not going to say that. We're going to say, wow, I wish I would have focused more on relationships with God and with people. And I wish I would have taken advantage of those. I wish I would have told people I love them more. I wish I would have listened to people more. I wish I would have not been so quick to, just write somebody off, just because they disappointed me or had a negative experience with them. And so the fulfillment piece, Henry, is, you look at 1 Corinthians 13 and the love chapter, and it talks about all these great things we can do, but if we have not love, it profits nothing. And it says, love is kind, love is patient. And so this relational piece, I believe that the culture of empowerment gives a practical way to lead with the 1 Corinthians 13 mindset of love. And again, it doesn't mean, some people might be listening to this and they say, wow, you're just, wishy-washy, milquetoast leader. No, listen, we make hard decisions. There's times we got to fire people. There's times where we got to set clear boundaries with people. There's times where we say, hey, you know what? That you're not maybe going to have a real powerful role in this organization right now. But it's how we say it And it's how we see people, even in those moments where we're going to have to make some seemingly hard decisions, that it's still a heart. There's a heart behind it for the person, where we're concerned about their total well-being as a person, and we're not just trying to get rid of them and get them out of our lives.
So relationships are more important than goals. That's gold in there.
They are. They're more important than goals. If you're not convinced of that, I suggest you read 1 Corinthians 13 every day for a month.
And Steve, so and would you have any activation or nugget we could give away right now, and something that people could start applying right now, and that they would see transformation? Do you have anything we could share with our Igniting Hope?
And I shared
family?
yesterday one. I want to repeat this, and I'll give you a new one as well. Yesterday I said, because one of the things that, as we become students of people, one of the most powerful questions we can ask is, what do I like about them? What do I like about people? And so asking that question, even people on your team or even family that might be irritating or whatever, and then tell them, I appreciate and admire this about you. That's one practical step that we can make. Here, the second step, I would say, is when we feel disappointed, Henry, with a person, and we sense we want to withdraw our heart from them. And the practical step that I want to give is that when we feel that, to just stop it and say, no, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to lean into this relationship. I'm going to start breaking that tendency off. I'm going to move towards them instead of away from them, towards them, and asking questions and just affirming love, maybe, or just being kind and just being friendly. So that would be another practical step.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So asking what is the good in people around you, what you like about them, and the other one is not withdrawing from people you feel disappointed or frustrated with. Very good.
Yes.
Steve, I have one last question before we wrap up. We have around 2 minutes here. And so as our community, as our Igniting Hope family starts applying those practice in their lives, what is the transformation you expect to happen in them and around them?
Well, first of all, I expect them the transformation is that their leadership ability and skill set is going to grow dramatically. It's going to grow dramatically. And I expect that the people around them are going to trust them more. And then just the many other things, but the third one I'll mention is that the Lord is going to attract big people to you. We grow big people, but once we start growing big people, then big people start coming to us. And it's like this snowball effect, because big people don't want to hook on to people with small thinking. Big people don't want to hook on to people who are selfish and it's only about themselves. But I'd say big people are coming.
Wow, we should be excited and expectant then.
Yes.
Steve, thank you so much. I guess those were my
Henry,
questions.
Thank you. Boy, you should start the Henri Pera, talk show and start interviewing people. You're doing a good job. Hey, Henry, tomorrow, Connie Jones, Igniting Faith with Connie Jones on tomorrow morning. She's going to be talking about this culture of empowerment. And then Thursday, two of our staff members, Ash Anderson and Michelle Reagan, I think they both got married. I got to make sure I got their last names right. They're going to be sharing about their perspective on the culture of empowerment. And Henry, guess who I have with me on Friday?
Tell me.
My brother Phil is going to be joining me on Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to talk about the culture of empowerment, and
That's going to be powerful.
Why don't you just remind the people about the special offers that we have this week and then next week?
Yeah, so for the next 2 weeks, we have the book on Amazon, The Culture of Empowerment, Business and Organizational Edition, 40% off. We have never seen that in Igniting Hope ever before. And the course is 50% off. So we're gonna be posting the links in the chat here, and you can follow there, or you can go to Amazon, look for The Culture of Empowerment, Business and Organizational Edition. And also, if you go to Igniting Hope Academy website, you can find the course with the discounted price there.
And and just a final note would be teams that would do this course and book together would be a very strong thing. And again, the course it's online. It's got one video a week. It's 12 weeks long. It's got 3 podcasts every week that my brother Phil and I are doing. So it really supplements the book, and it's for people on the go. And we suggest doing it with somebody else and then having a discussion time with them or with your team, and find somebody else to do this with, because it's in that interaction of what you're learning, I believe, that the greatest growth happens. All right, Henry, thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. It's been a pleasure to be with you today.
All right, bye, everybody.